There's so many great ideas presented here. What's going on, people? Alex Thorn here, and I'm a rock and roller who in his downtime likes to watch movies while wearing a bandana. And I had just a random 3 hours open on a Friday in the early afternoon, and I was like, what should I do? I can work on more music, which I had worked on the previous night and the previous day and the previous day, or I can stream something, or I can get out the house. And you know, even though you watch a movie in the house or you watch a movie at a theater, at least at a theater, you feel like you're doing something different. So I went to the theater to check out Boogeyman. And this is Stephen King's Boogeyman. So here's the deal. When the movie starts out, it sets you up really well right from the beginning. It's got the perfect opening scene. It's a baby. And the way they got this baby, whether it's AI or it's a real baby reading the line to say, "Daddy," was just like, aw. And then what happens next is like, oh my God. From there, we're led into a psychiatrist office. And I think for me right away, the father, who is a psychiatrist who has two daughters and lost his wife in a car wreck, a sudden car wreck, he's one of the small issues I have with this movie. He's just very unlikable, and I don't know if he's meant to come across as unlikable or if it's just my personality and watching somebody like his personality made him unlikable to me. And I think there's many people that are going to be a little softer than I am and say, well, he's dealing with something, he doesn't know how to deal with it. And then there's me who's like, yeah, well, you're a psychiatrist, you're supposed to help others, so you should know how to deal with this shit. And I think that's where the movie tries to put that into play, where like, yeah, he helps others, but he can't help himself. He's struggling as well. He's taking care of some clients. He's helping them out. He gets done with one client, and then this other guy who does not look well at all, he comes into the home, and what we find out is that this guy is the father of the baby we see when the movie opens just 5, 6, 7 minutes earlier. And he tells the psychiatrist, I really need help. People think I killed my family, and I didn't. Something else did, and they all went little by little. He brings a booklet, and that booklet has a drawing of the Boogeyman, the entity. Afterwards, it took me some time right before I did this review to think about why did the Boogeyman look the same for this family as it did for another family, because the Boogeyman looks differently for me as it does for you, as of my son, your kid, anybody else who's watching this. Everybody has a different version of that. Well, they brought it into the house. The difference is not all of them saw it. That's where one of my issues lies with this, is that I thought everybody should have a different version of this. So the older daughter and the father see this version, but I don't think, could be wrong, you guys please correct me in the comments, I don't think the daughter saw that version. So in my mind, her version of this should have been slightly different than everybody else's. But I digress. Once the psychiatrist gets freaked out by this, he goes and calls the police, and from there, all hell breaks loose in that house, because now that guy brought that Boogeyman, demon, whatever, to this house. And so I can't go on beat by beat anymore after that, because you got to watch it yourself. What I can tell you is that there are scenes that you already saw in the trailer, hinted to, that are really, really good. Unlike Insidious, the Red Door, where I thought 90% of the jump scares in that movie were given to you in the trailer, this one I would say about 40% was given to you. And if you did not watch this trailer multiple times, I don't think it was easy to remember anything but the red light going off in that one scene. And that was the only time I expected something to happen. But when it does happen, it wasn't revealed in the trailer. Everything else that was a jump scare in this movie was done really, really well. And the one thing that I loved outside of that red light in that one scene is that ball that the girl has, the light ball. That was such a smart move. And I don't know if it's in the original novel, But man, how cool is it to play with that ball? To roll it underneath the bed, to roll it into the closet, to roll it down the hallway. I'm gonna give you guys one thing from the movie. It won't ruin anything. But they were like, the first time man discovered how to keep these demons, these shadow monsters away was fire. And there's a line similar to that that said, and the other girl says, that's how long it's been around. That's great. So that makes it an ancient evil. That brings us to what we've been talking about the entire time, which is the creature, the boogeyman, it. And maybe because my boogeyman doesn't look like that, it kind of bothered me. I was looking forward to something with a personality, and I felt like this was just more of like The Quiet Place, those aliens or whatever those monsters are. I felt like that's what this was. I saw, in preparation for this review, I looked up some images online, and what's shown in these hand-drawn images of what Stephen King, I guess, described in his book are really like a demon that walks on all fours but clearly has arms and legs. That's not what I got from this movie. This looked more like an alien. Instead of being really, really scared because it looks like a demonic ancient figure, it looked more to me like Smeagol became the boogeyman. So at the end of the day, guys, I'm not bashing the movie. I'm just critiquing because that's what I have to do with this. And it was money well spent. It's a great watch every now and then, maybe once a year, once every 2-3 years. It's fun. It's good. It's way better, in my opinion, than Insidious, but it'll never get the credit. Let's go to the bandana rating system on Stephen King's The Boogeyman. And I'm going to give this movie 3 bandanas out of 5. It was serviceable. It was a fine watch. Nothing overly wrong with it. Just my little issues with the dad being soft and the demon being Smeagol, who's angry now, type of thing. But everything from the way the movie opens to the way the movie ends, hard to find major flaws to say this movie sucks, because it doesn't. So if you have a chance and it's in a theater near you and you haven't seen it, go check it out. If not, check it out when it comes to streaming. Buy it on Blu-ray. Physical media should survive. Let me know what you thought of The Boogeyman. And is it close to the book? Did you read the book? Because I haven't. Maybe in the future I will. Does this have any correlation? I'm waiting. I like to talk to you guys. So I give a lot of questions to you guys in the comments. Does this have any correlation to the 2005 movie? Or is that they just share a title? Let me know. Let's talk about it down below. I'm Alex Thorn. And you know what I got to do? I got to rock out so I can go watch some movies with you.